The Ashdown Fire Department was in need of updated maps that show the location of fire hydrants. While we are learning to use ArcGIS, we decided to go ahead and begin the project using Google Maps, since we were already familiar with that application. As we began working on this project, we realized that we had no idea just how many fire hydrants are located within just a couple of blocks. This project will take much longer than we expected. We didn't begin this project until the spring, so we expect it to carry over to the fall semester. This project is quite possibly Ashdown's biggest change yet. What this project is a brand new frisbee golf course, or also known as disc golf. For those who are unfamiliar with disc golf, the simplest way to put it, it's just golf but with a bunch of frisbees and baskets. And with people steadily joining and playing disc golf, this is going to be a very effective project and make many people happy to have something new in Ashdown. Shane chose this project because it's something different, something people have never heard before, which is how it grasps people's attention. The first thing he did was talk to his East facilitator about what projects he could do. They first discussed things that Shane was interested in, and how he could turn those interests into projects. Ashdown also has very few things to do. Our city was in need of something new for the residents to participate in. Shane decided on a disc golf course because disc golf is something he did with his dad. Shane and Miss McCormick, the East facilitator, talked about a few places where the course could go and finally settled on the city park. The Ashdown City Park has a lot of land that is not being used. Shane has used Google Earth to help get a general idea of where property lines are located. During this process, Shane also found out about some unused land owned by Kiamichi Railroad. After speaking with representatives from the railroad, Shane found out that we could not use that land. So far, Shane has had a meeting with the city council, talked with the park director, and brought some experts in to help with the project. Now things are finally in motion. Shane has also talked with our school district superintendent to see if we would be able to use some vacant land owned by the district. We are waiting on the next school board meeting to present this proposition to them. A disc golf course will be an exciting addition to Ashdown and a sport that anyone can play, no matter your age. Due to COVID-19, this school year has been unlike any other. As we prepared to return to school in August, we knew things would be much different. Social distancing was the new norm for everyone. The elementary school was struggling with coming up with a creative and fun way to keep the young students socially distanced in the hallways. We went to the elementary school to meet up with the principal and came up with a plan. We would use equipment we had in our East room to create panther paws to place 6 feet apart in the hallways. This would give students an exact spot to stand to make sure they kept the required distance between them. First, we went back to the elementary school to measure the hallways where the paws would be placed. Then we used Design Space to make the panther paw design. Next, we used our Circus Explorer Air to cut each paw out. We also had to use transfer paper to help with applying each individual paw on the floor. We cut over 400 panther paws. The elementary school students and staff had been very pleased with this project. Our school was contacted by Brandon Woodford, who works with the Corps of Engineers and is also a natural resource specialist for the Natural Heritage Commission. He wanted to know if we could help with creating maps of the trail system at White Cliffs, which is near Millwood Lake. White Cliffs is located in Little River County on an outcrop of Annona chalk of the Cretaceous age. It gets its name from the 100-foot near vertical cliff carved into the chalk by the Little River. The rock which gave White Cliffs its name is 90% limestone. White Cliffs was also a steamboat landing. 2 steamboat captains started a cement company there. The crumbling remains of foundations mark the locations of several structures. White Cliffs' natural area is the site of the largest and least disturbed Arkansas occurrences of chalk woodland. The maps of the trail system have not been updated for quite some time. New trails have been created but not been added to the maps. The Commission is also interested in working with us to create graphics of the trail and points of interest to place at various spots along the trail. These informational graphics will help users navigate the trail system. This project is getting started and will carry over to the next school year. We plan to use Garmin GPS unit along with Google Earth to help with the initial mapping. Our plan after getting the trails marked is to use ArcGIS to create a professional hiking trail map, complete with various points of interest. After we finish with mapping, we will begin working on the informational graphic signs to place in several locations along the trail. This will make hiking to the White Cliffs a much easier trip while also educating hikers on the area. For this project, we are working with Dylan Hand from the Corps of Engineers to redesign the parking lot at Yarborough Landing at Millwood Lake. Millwood is known for its world-class bass and crappie fishing. The fishing draws thousands of anglers to the lake each year, especially for the tournaments that are held throughout the year. The problem is that during fishing tournaments, there is not enough parking space for all the trucks, boats, vendors, and officials. However, the Corps owns land adjacent to the current parking lot. We are able to take that land into use for additional parking. We will be mapping out a few models of parking lots that will show various configurations. The goal is to find the optimal design that will allow the most parking spots in the space available. To accomplish this task, we will have to use several different ways to collect data. To get the general locations of property lines surrounding the area, we used ACT Data Scout. This gave us a general idea of the area we could use. We also made several trips to the landing to get measurements of the current parking area and measurements of the surrounding land that we will be able to use. We are in the process of learning how to use software that can help us move this project forward. Due to COVID and the amount of school missed this year, we will not be able to finish this project until next school year.